one time I was at school and it was just a regular day, boring school until the principal went on the speaker and said we're going into lockdown. This is the drill. So then everybody got in the corner of the classroom. I have one question. Why would you want to hide in the corner of the classroom if somebody can just break down the door and look over there and see you? So instead I said that, and then we hid in a closet instead. So then there was this one girl who was really sassy and mean. Her name, let's call her Emma. And she asked, okay, if nobody's gonna tell me where that dumb nerd is, I'm gonna punch Jessica in the face. Everybody was like, oh my god, what? It's not Jessica's fault that we're in lockdown. So then Jessica went over to the sassy brat and screamed at her, and then obviously anybody in the school heard. So then the door opened and it was the next door teacher telling us if we're okay. Chat number. One time we were story time of how my best friend almost hooked up with my boyfriend. Story time. So one time, it was like second grade, I think, before COVID started, and now I'm in almost fourth grade, and I had this friend, and we can call her Raya.
Kira.
Yeah?
Grandma might call. Let me know when she does. What she says.
Okay. Sorry guys for the inconvenience. I was telling you guys the story time that happened, so let's just restart. So, how my best friend almost hooked up with my boyfriend's story time. So, one time, it was like second grade before COVID started, all that blah blah blah, I don't care anymore. So, one day, I told my friend that I like this guy. She was like, okay. And then maybe 2 weeks later, she said, I have a problem, and I asked her what it was. Then she said, I kinda like Scott as well. I was in shock. Because I was like, if he likes her better, then I'm gonna cry, obviously. So I told her that's kind of being a fake friend loving somebody else's crush. So she was like, I know, please don't be rude or anything. Then I went out to the playground, and he was basically so close to her, and I asked him and I just went up to him and asked him what he was doing. He said he hated me, he didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and he liked Raya better. And she was also in shock because she didn't want him to say that because that was obviously really rude. So then she told him to back off her, and then it just became a whole big thing. I still like him till this day because he's nicer now. The third story time. Story time of my abusive friend, number one. So one time it was me and my friend met, and like, so this was in kindergarten when me and my friend met. We loved each other so much, but there was this one girl who, she was also our best friend, but she wanted me to like her better than her. So we basically had fights all day long, all three of us, and the teacher said it was kind of cute because we were all just, and there was this one little girl that said we were kind of cute because we were all like slapping each other cutely, so I kind of laughed. So then, that was in like 2018, 17, who knows, and it's when I liked this guy, but that was in pre-K, and I still like him till this day. So, basically, we then, in like December of 2019, we finally had our first sleepover. I came to her house, and she had really cute dogs that she said she got for her birthday. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then I basically succeeded on into her, and then to show her mom, and then her mom was really pretty. So then she showed me her room. It was really nice. She had a computer where she plays Roblox on. So I asked her what kinds of games she plays, and she said she only really plays Adopt Me. So I was like, okay, whatever, I like Adopt Me too. Well, that was when I liked Adopt Me. I don't really like Adopt Me anymore. Sorry, Dreamcraft. I still play it though, sometimes. So then, it's like, it becomes Christmas time. We have a really fun time. She gets her own phone. Then since COVID started, we couldn't see each other anymore, and we started to cry, and we both cried. So we would call each other and play Adopt Me all day long. So it was like really fun until we had our next sleepover again in October or November of 2020. Our first sleepover in a really, really, really long time. And then I was so excited to see her. I hugged her. Everything was good until I went into her room. She started punching me and throwing me around like a punching bag. I really didn't like it, so I asked her to stop. She said, no, it's fun. And then I was like, dude, stop, it really hurts. But I was really sad because it really hurt, and I didn't, if my mom found out that she was like hurting me, then she would obviously call her mom out. So I didn't really want her to get in trouble. So I kind of saved her by telling her it was my fault. I was accidentally kind of rude to her, and she punished me for it. I deserved it. And that was a lie because I didn't want her to get in trouble and me to ruin the whole sleepover. So we had lots of more sleepovers, and I regret doing that. Now she's banned from my house and I can't go to her house either. So I decided that it would be a good idea if I asked my mom if we could have another sleepover, because she said she promised that it wouldn't happen again, and I obviously gave her another chance. I obviously would have gave her another chance, but my parents are still thinking about the sleepover idea till this day. And I'm kind of really sad about it because I want to have a sleepover with my best friend. So today, when we were starting math in school, there was this one girl who sits behind me. She's kind of weird, but her name is Isabella. We can call her Isabella. Izzy for short. So Izzy was just sitting in the back like normal. She was answering questions. Basically a normal, boring day of school until lunchtime. We have lunch in our classrooms because we don't go out and go to the cafeteria and eat anymore, just because of like the tables and stuff, because they get dirty, and I don't want the cafeteria ladies to like struggle, so we don't do that. So then it was normal until after lunch. I forgot what I was gonna say. So we were basically like, so it was like really boring in class, and I was like really bored. She asked me a question, and I asked her what she needed because we were in the middle of reading, and the teacher was this was before the teacher called on me. He called on a different person. So I asked her what she wanted. She said, when we have recess today, meet me. Don't play with Raya anymore. I asked her why. She said, because I saw Raya kissing the boy you liked. Then I was in shock because I knew she was definitely lying, because why would my own best friend be doing that? So I asked her if you have any proof. She said yes. She took out a giant sketchbook that she writes things in, and she showed me the photograph that she took with an old photography thingy. And then I asked her, are you sure it's not photoshopped? And she said yeah, and I believed her. So dumb. Story time number 4, the last one. So it was basically normal. It was basically a normal day. We went outside to play. Regular day. Regular old boring day of school. So then, after school, my grams usually picked me up from school. And that day, nobody showed up to pick me up for 4 hours. I was waiting there until 3 o'clock, which we usually get out around almost 3 o'clock, so it wasn't a really big coincidence. Maybe she was just late, she forgot the time, so I wasn't really worried. But then almost everybody was gone. About 4 people left in the gym until somebody finally came. It was my parents. I screamed my head off. It wasn't my parents. They're in Texas. Why would they be at my school? Then after an explanation, I screamed at myself because I was so embarrassed, because that was there. I forgot that was a girl named Daisy. She was in 1st grade up at my school, and I forgot she was the last one left. She was the last one left to get picked up, and those were her parents. And I literally I literally facepalmed myself so hard because I was hallucinating. Okay, and that's all the story times for today, guys. Have a